Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Forever Stranded with Nemsun. If you're watching this on the playlist in the future sometime, then you will have no disruption to service. But for my regular daily viewers, you noticed a small break, a break of about a week, where I've not been able to record. Now there is another video up on the channel this week, today in fact, that will explain everything, but I didn't want to explain it all twice, 3 times, 4 times, once for each series, so I did one separate video. The link is above right now. But today's episode of Forever Stranded, we are getting back to work on sending ourselves a space station out into the dark, dark space. And just this platform here, this starter platform here, is a full chunk wide, and I believe that this is the largest scale area that we can send a space station, or create a space station piece, or at least enough to put into one space station, like a shuttle bay type thing, right? So, get off my butt, cactus. Sitting on a cactus is not part of the plan. Previously we set all this up, right? We set it all up, we made it all valid, we've done a few rockets and all that bits and pieces. Check out the previous episodes, if not, the playlist is in the link below. But now we've got to set up a satellite bay and station ID setup going on. And first of all I'm going to need to build it. Now I want to try and send this thing up there. I want to try and send my shuttle into space so that I can use my shuttle as my actual spaceship in space. Oh my days, what's going on over here? Oh, there's more of them. There's more of them than ever before. They are quite clearly unable to get out of that little hole. I wondered why it was so quiet mob-wise. We've had a few nights and there's not so many mobs wandering around the fence anymore, the cactus fence anymore. It's probably because my mob cap is reached by having so many mobs over there. Whatever. Yeah, so today I want to build a space station, but I want to build a landing platform first for these guys. So one of these rockets can go to the space station and back, so I can travel between here and the space station up there, but I need a landing pad and fueling and all that kind of stuff, right? This ship over here does not have such. What I want the space station to look like is that though it's a space station that has the rocket up and down from the surface to the station, but also has a docking station for this. Now the docking station for this, that's going to be a bit of something weird because it's going to be moving from one system to another. The space stations are moving from one system to another. So I'm going to also make it look like that's kind of docked, so that it's a so it's a space station in orbit of each planet, and each planet has the same like space station connection that moves from one space station to the next, is what I'm trying to show. But I don't know how that's going to work out just yet, so we'll start by just making something up here. I don't really know what I want to do with this, so I'm kind of making it up as I go along here, right? I'm starting to think already that I want some kind of like suspended platform inside this like chunk area. So we'd go up and across suspended platform, and I want to kind of make it sort of active like that. Suspend a landing platform in the middle of it, so it's almost like a floating hunk of space metal, which is all just these scaffolding type blocks holding it all together. And inside there I'm going to build a platform for a spaceship to arrive and depart, and also a docking bay for this thing to dock onto. Now I understand the process of taking sections and putting it onto the space station, but I'm going to be very, very cautious in doing so. I also doubt that I'll take the cat, so I'm going to have to take the cat up in other means, but we'll do that later, we'll sort that out. Today I just want to focus on this. So I'm going to build out this platform, and I'm just going to do this kind of thing around the edge, and then just put a simple platform in the middle. Okay, so it's doing the first scan, and hopefully everything's good. I've used lots of chisel blocks, not chisel bits. I wanted to do chisel blocks first to scan those. So we've got the laboratory blocks that the majority of this ship's made out of, and the factory blocks that the rest of the ship's made out of, but we don't have the chisel bits blocks, which is another thing to test in a bit, right? To see if chisel bits will actually get scanned and sent in this particular method. So what we got is a framework to look very, very space age industrial, built in space type industrial, and a couple of areas that are going to be quite literally the airlocks from where it lands, because the ship that you send up is supposed to land directly in the center of your landing platform. So I'm going to put the refueling stuff for the landing platform in one pocket here, and have airlocks going through to another section of the spaceship, and this may be through to another section of the spaceship, but 2 airlocks. And of course I can make this into 4 different airlocks if we expand it in the future, right? That was my plan. Anyway, that was my plan. But first of all, let's see if it got scanned alright, because it looks like it's scanned okay. It seems to be ready. Okay. So, next up, I want to test to see if it can take a piece of spaceship. Right, so we've got a chunk of spaceship here. I'm going to just place this on top here. There we go. So that is a literal chunk of spaceship. That's probably what I was expecting to be the problem out of all of it. I don't know about the equipment inside it. I mean, all of this stuff I can transfer manually if it doesn't transfer itself. We shall see, though. We shall see. But I'll set that up, right? Hopefully it's a good system. Hopefully it's a great system, and you can send pretty much anything to space that you want. And now I've just got to scan it again and see if it works. Well, it's scanned through it all again. Let's get in there. So, in theory, this should be ready for making into a shuttle bay and taking liftoff. So let's see. It does say it's ready. Everything seems good. We used a lot of power up for that, so maybe I need to wait for the power to come back before I can build it. Okay, well that's done. So now I think all I have to do is press build. And oh yeah, it's doing stuff. It's now red lines going through as it works its way down. And the only thing I'm testing this time is testing the chisel and bits blocks, because if chisel and bits doesn't work, then the whole ship load in. If the chisel and bits doesn't work, then the whole ship isn't going to work. Really is taking its time, isn't it? Maybe I should have lowered that a couple of blocks to make it start a bit lower, but never mind. I kind of like the shape and size of it. Look, it feels like it's going to be a good base for everything else to attach onto, like the middle component of the spaceship, floating around in space with that attached to one end, possibly that end or that end, and the launch facilities in there as well to take off and land onto different planets. I may end up with something else coming off another side. Who knows what we're going to end up with when we come down to where do we go with this mod pack now. We've done so much already, and the views for this series have dropped off, and that might be because I've taken a few breaks. It might be because you've only just started watching it. It might be because it's now an old mod pack and we've been doing it for quite a long time, but I'm still enjoying it and I still want to finish off the quest. And the main quest is to find another planet and to find the actual thing. To find the actual thing, moving world, it is to find a new home, which is to find lightwood saplings. So that is the objective. Uh-oh, it's gone. No, it hasn't gone. It's all gone. It's been scanned and put into the space station container and given us a space station ID chip, right? So now, test number 1. I want to send my rocket with me in it to station 1. That's test number 1. We've got fuel, kind of. We're not fully fueled. Why are we not fully fueled? Fully fuel now. Fully fuel on. I should be fully fueled. Why are you not fully fueled? Fully fueled, fully fueled. You are linked. Good. Now fully fuel. Okay, it's filling up. Good. Alrighty. And you are ready for launch. Good. You are set to destination Space Station 1. Now, I'm going to launch myself. I need to put my spaceship together. Put my spacesuit on. Worried. And I've got the planet ID ready to bring us back down to Earth later. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. See where we end up. Space station, press space to descend, auto descend in 22 seconds. What do we got on the outside here? This is above the atmosphere, but are we on a space station or not, is the question. Will it automatically produce a space station underneath? We're slowly landing. Are we landing on a space station though? Or are we just going to land back down on Earth? We seem to be falling, slowly falling. But there doesn't seem to be any space station to land on though, does it? It doesn't feel like we're landing on anything space station, like nothing down here, nothing up there. We're getting to the lowest altitude and we're all the way down in the lowest altitude. And it's taken us back into the Earth's atmosphere? Maybe. Okay, so we're having to land again on the planet. Okay, this is fair enough. This is fair enough. So there was no space station, so therefore it couldn't land on the space station. So therefore there is no. I just carried on going straight back down to Earth, and hopefully I should land back on my platform. Okay, this is good. Okay, so my second test is to see if I can do it without the guidance computer. I believe that this only requires this. It's called a payload launch. So I'm literally launching the payload. And as far as I'm concerned, this space station container is giving the payload launch enough information to just send it up into space. I think that's the way it is. I do need to relink this now. Do need to relink this and relink this. Like that now, yeah. So now this will fill up fuel and be ready to launch. And then I just launch it and it should create that space station for me, in theory. And I'm hoping that that's all there is to it. It's got the space station container in, which is what I made there. And it should be ready to launch. So let's do it. Off you go. Bye, space station. See you in a bit. So it should send the space station up and assemble it in space, and then I can go take a rocket to it and back and so on. I should be able to send a rocket back and forth between it. I wonder if I can fly as fast as a rocket. No. I should test that. I should test to see if my angel wings fly as fast as a rocket. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, it's off and away. It's off and away. Can I check it on here to see what it's doing? Oh yeah, I see the altitude now. So as the altitude rises, so I see it. So it'll get into there and then presumably make the space station. I wonder if I'll get a little alert of some kind. Because now it's gone. I don't know if there's a space station there or not. Will it get all the way up? It goes all the way up. Yep. And great. Now, it's done that. I didn't receive any kind of notification about it though. Okay, so I don't know what's going on there. Let's put this back on for a little bit. Just redo these. Just make sure that those are charged back up again. Good. And then swap them back over. Okay, so I've launched the satellite station. Now we should try and get to it. So I'm going to keep this for coming back down and put that in there as my destination. Are we fueled up? No, we're not fueled up yet. Why are we not fueled up? Do I have to link this back to the ship every time? Already linked, so why are you not filling? You're there. You're there. Why are you not refueling then? Refuel. Okay, I don't understand why this is not refueling as expected. Because it is linked, it says. That must be the first thing to link. Okay. To that. Already linked. It says it's already linked. Must be first to link. It's already linked. Okay, can I unlink this? Maybe this is the thing that I need to do. Unlink it. It's currently linked to what exactly? That. Can I link it to this instead? Must be the first link. That one, that one, that one, that one. Linked successfully. Okay, it's messed up my links, but it's done something. So the refueler must be the first machine to link, it says in the chat. So linked successfully. Okay, so now can I take this? Yes, fueling station to link to that. Link successfully. Now you're refueling. Yes, slowly but surely. For some reason, the link between those two didn't work. Maybe it's because I've been doing backups of things. I don't know. And then link that to that. Already linked. Okay, so it maintained the monitoring station, but now now it's got a monitoring station stuck on the linker, and there doesn't appear to be a way of changing it. Shift, control, control, shift, control. No right clicks to cancel off the link, it seems. And then I can't select another thing until I've used that linking up. And when it's already linked to this machine, then it will not link anymore. Oh my days. Is this actually refueling anymore? No, because it's no longer linked. Okay. Okay, I think I've bust it. Basically, I've bust it because of that linking process. I'm going to need a couple. Oh man, let's speed again. I'm going to need a couple of those. I would like to be able to reset this so it doesn't actually work. But it doesn't appear to want to do something like that. Okay, so we'll just get another linker. Build another linker. They're not expensive. And we'll train it once again. But it feels like it unlinked because it was linked before, and now it's linked again. Wait a minute. Was linked before. It's still not refueling very fast. This has no fuel in it. That needs to be that way round to get fuel in it. And now that will start fueling. Yes. It feels like that link there has been broken after the rocket has gone and come back again. It feels like that link's been broken. But this link to it has not been broken. So I'll try and reset that link to it, and that works, but try and reset that link to it, and we get stuck with that linking process. Trying to figure it out. Okay. And I don't think that one will ever work again. Who knows? But we are ready to go. Okay, so select destination, space station. Yes, okay. Did I have that guidance computer set to that? Okay. So now if I get in it and press space in it, we should see if this works. Okay, yeah, I've got my spacesuit. I was worried for a second there that I didn't have my spacesuit anymore. We're going all the way up there, that's good. And I should be able to then land on the space station. Now I know I've got no refueling capabilities on the space station, but this is just a test. This is just a test to find out. I think maybe I can jump back down to Earth as well. I've got my backup save, so I'll go back up and then we'll set it up properly and sort things out. Okay. Well, we're doing the landing thing again. Are we going to land on a space station that I've just sent up, or are we going to land on the planet? We don't seem to be landing on a space station. Space station seems to be the last thing on my... Oh no, here we go, we're landing on it. Yes. Okay. So now destination is set as Earth. If I get off it here, then I am in space, in my space station, with 0G. Whee, 0G. Or at least a little bit of gravity towards Earth. Less gravity than you was expecting. And can I still fly? Yes, I can still fly. Okay. And if we check around, we can see that these things have been taken. So the chiseled blocks do get taken to the space station. And the space station in orbit looks very cool like that. Alright, now I know that I can't get back from here without a refueling point. But I wanted to see if these things would actually get sent or not. So now this does get sent. We're going to go back to our previous save and start figuring this out a little bit better. So all that was just to check to see if these chisel and bits and chisel blocks would be sent into orbit in the perfect fashion. And now we know what we're doing, I want to test one more thing out. I want to see if I can survive a fall back down to Earth. Bye! It looks pretty cool from the underside as well. That's what I wanted. Looking pretty cool. Alright, let's see if we can re-enter the planet. See, I can fly. I've got angel wings. I can fly. But am I going to survive the fall all the way back down to Earth? Oh no, what happened? Huh? Oh, look at that for coolness. You fall out of the space station and you just get put back onto the launch pad. Oh, that was me thinking I'd be able to fall back to Earth. Or at least I would suffocate or something. But no. Looks like we just go pop back to spawn. You wake up finding yourself back on the space station. Okay, well, let's go and do this properly, shall we? Okay, so let's see how these doors work. These are small airlock doors. They take 6 pieces of steel. Or 6 steel plates. And they're about as annoying as iron doors, it feels. Alright, so we did our test. We can send these chisel bit blocks up. So I've made some little bits on the top of my space station, like so. Just to give it a little bit more of a kind of a domed feel to it. I might do a little bit more to the sides here as we go. But I just wanted to check to make sure that this sort of stuff would go. And the whole ship would actually go and it wouldn't break. The other thing I've done is I've added in a little fueling station. So I've got a fuel station attached to the launch pad here with the ender tank. And I've got a couple of these actually addition solar panels connected to a couple of basic capacitor banks, which are keeping it stocked up with the power. It only needs 1,000 power per operation. And this capacity bank will have far more power. There'll be enough power for 2,000 refueling processes. And it's just going to get 16. I hope there's sunlight in space. I hope it works that way. And then we've got an airlock in here, and these vents and things. I'm not sure how these work yet, but I know they need power. I don't think that needs power. I think that just needs a scrubber. But the oxygen vent is supposed to just pump oxygen into the room. Let's put these on here and get through this door quick. Thank you. So now I've got my airlock sorted. It's supposed to just take power. So again, I've put a basic capacitor out the back here with some solar panels on the back just to give us a decent supply for that when we get up there. And hopefully actually additions and Ender IO blocks will get taken up. So now we're just going to wait for the scanning process to be complete, stick it in a rocket and launch it. But this time I'm racing my rocket. I'm racing my rocket. I seem to be going a bit faster than the rocket. Oh no, it's gaining momentum now. Okay, it gains momentum from the liftoff. And then it escapes. Yeah, it escapes me. Okay, well done, rocket. You win. You win. And now it's off and running and waiting for the altitude. And then I'll go and make a cup of coffee. Well, it's a great cup of coffee. It's quite a long-winded process going up and down through launching procedures and things. It's quite an extended process. But hopefully, according to our testing, this should be spot on, perfect, it's worked, can't be beat, awesome, should have a refueling going on as soon as we get there as well, should be epic. Alright, let's see. Oh, we're landing on it, it's looking good. Looks like everything arrived there. This is good. This is good to see, good to know. Awesome, and here we are. Hey, we are on the planet. We are on the space station above the planet once again. Awesome. It doesn't look quite as barren and dusty and sandy as we first thought, does it? I'm standing nothing there. It looks a lot more wet down there than our location would deemed us to be. Maybe I should land somewhere further away in a nice green area, or maybe not. But either way, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. We have made our space station for the first time. Is the moon still around? Yeah, the moon's still around. We've made our space station for the first time. We've went to the moon last time. And next time we need to expand this space station out and add all of its special abilities and stuff, and start making the space station something ready to move to another solar system. So until then, thank you very much for watching another episode of Forever Stranded with Nemsun. I will see you next time. Goodbye.